We're rolling in 3, 2, 1. Are we actually?
Yeah.
Oh. I was like...
What's on top of your bucket list?
The top of it is I want to go to Antarctica and meditate on the ice. Then the one that's closely second is I want to go and skydive solo in the Himalayas. And I'm on the road to achieving that. I do have this evergreen goal that I just aspire to, and it's something that I'm never gonna probably hit. I could hit, I don't know, because there's no measurement of it, but my evergreen goal is to help 1 million people in some way, shape, form, or capacity. So pretty much everything I do, every touch point, every piece of content, everything I do gravitates towards that one goal.
What was your favorite cartoon character as a kid?
Yeah, I had heaps. I was like a kid who lived in a fantasy land always. So I jumped from like Barney to the Powerpuff Girls. But Barney I think was my OG. Although my favorite song from it, and my mum, it still drives my mum mad. As soon as someone says popcorn, it's like in my brain it goes, popcorn is fun to eat, fun to make. No wait, popcorn is really neat, fun to make and fun to eat.
Would you rather be able to talk to land animals, animals that fly, or animals that live under the water?
Do you know what? I would want to talk to animals that live under the water. And I grew up with a massive fear of the ocean, and this year I overcame that fear of the ocean, and I'm so fascinated by the world that is underneath the water and just the depths of the ocean. I don't know if it's because like there's just so much possibility or there's so many new things to learn, but I would love to be able to speak to sea animals.
Have you seen my octopus teacher?
Oh my God, how good was that?
Yeah.
That was like, I was freaking the out. I was like, what?
Oh.
I want a pet octopus. No, I don't. That's terrible. I don't want a pet.
What do you think comes first, growth or happiness?
For me personally, it depends on the period of life that I'm in, because right now, growth is where I find my happiness, because it's on the other side of my comfort zone that I feel fulfillment. But I also don't think you constantly need to be growing to be happy. You can just be where you are and be happy. So it depends who you ask. For me right now, I'm on a mission to just keep on pushing myself as much as I can, physically, mentally, spiritually. So when I hit certain goals or I push myself beyond the limits of what I thought was possible, that growth makes me really, really happy. But I think happiness is also just a byproduct of feeling immense joy where you are right now. So,
what's the one thing that people always misunderstand about you?
The one thing that they misunderstand about me is that I have a lot of insecurities that I battle with every single day. I think when people look at me, they see this really, really confident person who sits in front of a camera every week and, you know, talks on a podcast and can go up to people and just start conversations and get to know people, but that was never the case. It took a lot of work to get to that stage, but yeah, I still freak out when I have to sit down and record a video, or the expectations that I always feel like I have to meet. So one of the biggest insecurities I've had, aside from body image, was my voice. I hated how my voice sounded on camera. It prevented me from starting a YouTube channel when I could have maybe a few years ago. But that persistence of wanting to fulfill my childhood dreams was just way too strong, and that's kind of when I just thought, you know what, it, like I'm just gonna do it. And so the confidence kind of started building bit by bit, just by doing weekly uploads and just by getting on a podcast and talking every single week. And I'm still not as confident as I want to be, but it's a work in progress, like we all are. So yeah, confidence is probably the one thing people misunderstand.
If you could do anything for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I know Stefan said this, but it would be this. I think being able to share stories like of other people, of my own, and to share experiences is the whole point of why we're here. It's to live this life and experience it through your own eyes and through your own lens, and then go out and share it with other people. So I would honestly, well, that's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards making this what I do full time. So yeah, I would definitely be doing more of this and connecting more people and just experiencing life the way I want to experiencing it, and also show other people that it's okay to want that for themselves as well.
What's the best thing about your life right now?
The people that are in it. I think I've gotten myself to a point where the support network that I have around me are dreamers and they're believers, and not just about what I'm doing, but what they're doing as well. And I think when you've got people around you that think outside the box, live outside the box, and just see the world through this lens of like endless opportunities and possibilities, it makes you believe as well that, yeah, there's a world out there that you get to experience however you want, and you're gonna have these amazing people around you doing the exact same thing. So everything I get to do, it makes me really excited because I get to share it with the people that are around me, whether that's bringing them on the journey with me or just seeing them experience their own lives their way.
What are you curious about?
There's a lot. I think I have let my curiosity guide me these days, but one thing right now as of this moment is I'm really curious about the soul's journey and how karma comes into play, and how you get to decide that no matter where your soul has been thousands and thousands of years before, you always have the power to change your fate and your future. Whether you believe that or not, right now in this moment, you get to always decide which way and where you want to go. And yeah, I think that's a pretty cool concept to not only think about, but kind of have in the forefront of your brain to guide you and lead you. So that's one thing. And the other thing, based on all the people that are in my life right now, the red string of fate, it's a Japanese parable that really fascinates me because it's this concept that every single human being on the planet is connected by this red string wrapped around your pinky finger. And when that string gets tugged on, that's when people come into your life or they appear in your life. And it's really cool to see all the people that have come into my life at the moment, just the amount of times they've crossed over at different periods of my life, and now they're kind of just all here. Stefan. Yeah, I just think it's really cool because you just never know who can walk into your life tomorrow and completely change your entire view on life. So, yeah. Am I still really white?
Yeah, the same amount.
Did it get whiter?
What was the experience that impacted you the most in your life?
I'm gonna say it was my breakup after I had been in a relationship for 7.5 years, because that, and at the same time losing the business that I built from the ground up, because both those things for almost a decade formed my identity, and I'd lost myself in that time. So once I learned that when you lose everything, it's kind of a gift because you get to start again. And although that's a really scary place to be in, it's a really beautiful place because you have the opportunity to recreate yourself and remold yourself however you want to be remolded. So I think losing everything was the best experience I ever had, because it just taught me that you can always start again and things can get better than they were before. And how do you know when your life is falling apart that it isn't actually falling into place?
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is getting to 90 years old and realizing that I didn't play all my cards out on the table. And that is something that, again, just drives me with everything I do, because I don't think the fear of dying is something that I worry about. I actually think it's the fear of not having lived that scares me more. So every single day, it's about what can I do today to make sure that that 90-year-old version of me doesn't sit there and go, damn it, if only you went and did, or you should have done this when you could have. That scares me the most out of everything.